Let's go. Players, coaches, fans, young and old from across the globe, welcome to the Week 18 recap show of the Bigs. As always, I'm your host, I'm your commissioner, I am Timmy Westside, and it is always, and I do mean always, my goddamn honor to be here with you all recapping the greatest league in the world. Week 18, come and gone faster than your little peepee when, oh so many years ago, Susie Crabshaw from down the street touched it for the first time. It's a story for another day. Right now, this week, we are talking the Bigs Puck Week 18. What happened? Let's all learn together. Well, we learned that everything is oh so close to being clinched. In golf, Saturday, round 3 is considered moving day. That's when, yes, magic can still happen on Sunday in the next couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. We'll get into it, no spoilers. But you make a move on Saturday, you make a move in week 18, it goes a long way in cementing your position in the final standings, and that's what happened this week. Ooh, punching tickets. That's also what happened for 1.95 people this week. We'll get into it, no spoilers. We also learned, and it has probably been this way for at least the past couple weeks, it's officially scoreboard watching season. Yes, you're on the iPad, on the bench, looking how you can do better for your team, getting some Gato in you. I've always been a big Cool Blue guy. But now's the time. The clock's starting to wind down, and you're keeping that eye on the scoreboard. How's your opponents doing? Because every game matters. Every decision, make or break at this moment. Oh, no spoilers, but robbery. That's also something that I learned that you will now learn soon. Coming up. No spoilers. We'll get into it. So let's get into it. And we must start with the evil empire himself. Yes, print the t-shirts. The Breakfast Club. 173.5 is enough to defeat the Rubber Puckies. 168.4. The number one stays number one. And the first thing that I wrote down, it's a tale as old as time, as true as the tides. You got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good. And this week, Monsieur Laurent-Pierre, the Breakfast Club, was oh so lucky to come out on top. Don't worry, relax, don't come at me. I did write down. It all comes out in the wash. Yes, a couple weeks ago, bad beat, the worst bad beat of all time, a historic bad beat when Bootsy had a record-setting week. All comes out in the wash, and it came to fruition this weekend more ways than one. We'll get into it. No spoilers. One man knows what I'm talking about. Ken Dog. You know what my point. Good to be lucky, lucky to be good. Good enough to be 12-6 on the season. 2 games up now on first place. Stranglehold. It's going to take some miracle for him to let that grip slip. And he's also on a 3-game winning streak. This week, he won 5 out of the 7 days, and they were led by Kevin Fiala, 18.2 points, Brock Nelson, 13.2, and Connor McDavid, 12.0. I'm reading this. Not one person in the 20s. The worst cumulative top 3 in the league. He still gets a fucking win. Goalies went 3-2 for 27.9 points. You kidding me? You kidding me? It's okay. He's earned it all season. High score. Let's move on. Only 6 out of his 22 players had over 10 points. This is like reading for a loser. But I'm the loser. We're all losers because he's in first. It all comes out in the wash. That's what I wrote. This has been a rambling recap of a victory. So I'm sorry, Larry. Good teams, they find ways to win, and that's what his team has been all season long. They do it together. They lift each other up when others struggle. And it happened this week, and it was enough to get it done because he was facing off against the Rubber Puckies, who had 168.4, which was the lowest total in the league this week. The first thing I wrote down was a big opportunity missed. Ken Dog now back-to-back weeks, the lowest point total in the league. But he's staring down at the barrel of a gun, and he knows he missed a big shot, big chance this week. He's now 2 games back from 5th place, and the walls are starting to close in on him. He now, flip-flop from Lair, is 6-12 on the season. And he had 7 out of his 22 players were under 5 points. That's tough. Looking at his top 3, though, not too shabby. Jordan Binnington, 17.7 points. Oh my God. A. Panarin, the bread man. A. Panarin, 16.2 points. And Freddie Anderson with 15.8 points rounds out his top 3. Yes, Larry and Ken were the only 2 players in the league without a 20-point go-getter. The scheduling gods, sometimes they will frown upon thee, and sometimes they will grant you a wish. I don't know. Lowest points this week, capped off by the lowest offense. His offense had 127 points. And his goalies were actually very solid. Offense was a big issue. His goalies went 5-2 for 40.6 points this week. Not too shabby. Shout out big time to Freddie Anderson and, as you can tell, Jordan Pennington. Together, they went 4-1. Really led his team, but the others did not follow. Okay. Sometimes, and as you guys can tell, a little peek behind the curtain, it's a grind. Waking up Monday, I say, Timbo, commish, you gotta deliver. Give the people what they want. Do your homework. Not gonna lie, sometimes we get off track. Exhibit A. Sometimes I stick to the same, your top 3, your days 1, your goalies. Listen, it happens. It's a long season. The dog days are behind us. We're moving forward. But my point is this. Sometimes you find a stat that you just cannot believe. And kudos to him. He didn't whine and bitch and complain in the chat. And I wonder if anyone else picked up on it. I doubt they did, because if they did, our chat would have blown up. Ken Dog knows exactly what I'm going to say right now. Loses by 5.1 points. Tough, heartbreaking when he needs it the most. February 15th. A day that will live in Rubber Pucky's infamy this year. Ken Dog drops Patrick Kane. February 17th. On the waiver wire, he gets 6 points. Sunday, February 19th. He scores a hattie against Toronto. 14 points. Could have taken down Larry. Could have taken down Larry's team. We would have been one game with a big game this week. Ken Dog would have got the win. One game back from Jake. One huge matchup this week. We were robbed. We were robbed of having the greatest week 19 in Pigs history. Sean and fucking Chris can go tummy sticks. I don't care because all eyes would have been on those two matchups this week. And Ken Dobb, Keeny Bing rips, drops Patrick Kane, and leaves 20 points on the board. Good to be lucky. Lucky to be good. Laurent Pierre, let's move on. To the Borland Lightning McQueen backhanders punching tickets. 212.4 over Timmy Westside. 204. Getting the job done. Punching his ticket into the postseason. He's now 9-9 and 3 games up on Ken Dog. Has a 3-1 lead in games against Ken Dog. Don't even know if we're going to go the whole 3 weeks. No spoilers. We'll get into it. What's that all equal up to? Shauner. Because the Borland Big Dong Backhanders has punched his ticket to the big show. Stick taps, kid. Grinded. I wrote this down later, but I'm going to say it right now because it's kind of working for me. I don't know if anyone has had more of an up and down season than the Borland Backhanders. There have been times where this kid's blowing up his team, spiraling down into the basement, checking out how that condo looks. But then there are times he puts up 212 points in the biggest spot when he needs it the most to punch his ticket. Are you kidding me? Come on. 9-9, 3 games up on last. Tiebreaker, kudos kid. Second highest point total this week. And he did it by jumping out to an early lead and then followed it up with a huge Saturday when he means it, when they need it the most. Moving day, rounding it all together. I'm buzzing. 62 points on Saturday. Huge statement win for the kid. And how did he do it? Timmy Jimmy Stu Stützle, 29.2 points, led the way for not only the Borland Backhanders, but the entire league this week. Followed up by Elias fucking Pettersson, 22.4 points, and Vikram Vanacek, 16.0 points. I'm the bigger man. I will apologize. Shauner, my bad. I was sleep deprived yesterday. I could just been, kid, tip of the cap, good win. But I was like, no, fuck you, I hate you. Go to bed. Talk about shoving it right up my fucking hoop. I mean, it's right there. Jimmy Stu, 29 points. He had 2 games, 2 days of 10 points. Sunday, he put up 10. I lost by 8. Elias Pettersson. You saw. I lost Saturday by 15 points, and on that day, he had 17. Come on! And Vanacek. Shauner was trying to trade Vanacek to me. I apologize. I'm the bigger man. I did not see the bigger picture. Your team needed it the most. They got it done in the big spot. They shoved it all right up my hoop. Triple penetration. No homo. Kudos, kid. Big players, big games. They come through in the big moments, and that's what they did this week. You got to be fired up. You're punching your ticket. You're shining your shoes. I'm doing a lot of pointing. I'm pointing at you because you earned this win. His goalies went 4-1-3 for 43.6 points. And a weird week. Cop tries to go after Johnny Gibson, gets fucking tossed. He had multiple blown saves, mainly by the Oilers. And yet his team lifts him up, led by Jimmy Timmy and Mr. E.P. Petey, lifts him up, catapults him to the victory into the post-season. Top 3, apology. 2-game win streak, roller coaster season, as I said. Last point on Shauner. Goalies now all of a sudden have been sneaky great. He's second in the league in wins, and his goalie record stands at 73 and 35. Kid's rounding in shape when he needs it the most. Let's get to Timmy Westside. What are you going to do? I put up 204 points. I'm not going to be mad. I love being mad at Sean. Fuck you, kid. You beat me. Sometimes you just get beat. 200-point loss. My team fought hard. They were down early, but they scratched and clawed back until fucking Mr. Petey late on Saturday night said, nah, get the fuck out of here, Tim. Proud that they didn't give up. Proud that they're not like no showing as they had been for a few weeks there. Yeah, as I said, good to be lucky to be good. Couple bounce is in this game. They go my way. They don't go Larry's way. They don't go Sean's way. They go Ken's way. Who knows where I'd be. But regardless, not enough to win. Oh, so close. It's about the process. Play well when it matters most. When the calendar gets late, that's what you got to do. My top 3 were Roman Josi, 21 points, Alex DeBrincat, 17.6, and Ville Husso, once again in my top 3, 17.2. Let's stay hot, kid. You're a great late season ad. My goalies went 4-2-2 for 39.2 points. One glaringly obvious poo-poo spot, a shit stain on my pants, was Connor Hellebuyck getting 1 start, 1 loss, had a lead going into the 3rd, and Jake Ottinger going 0-1-2. Need my guys to be my guys. My guys weren't my guys. Connor's guys were his guys. I gotta stop saying guys. You guys are tired of talking about me. Figure it out, Tim. That was bad English. Meh. Let's move on to the final game of the week. I say the best for last. This guy's probably, smoking his doobies, saying, when's he gonna talk about my 242.5 points over my brother Jake? Talking about right now, and I'm talking about the comeback kid getting it done. Yeah, 242.5 points over the Burt Macklin squad. Highest point total in the league this week. Talk about it, kid. You are the 0.95% that you almost punched. I pulled my punches. Came this close to your face. Pulling punches. Just because right now, head-to-head against Kendall. Yes, he is 3 games up on Kendall, but his head-to-head is only 2-2. Stranger things have happened. Let's say every domino falls the right way for Kendall and the wrong way for Kristoff, and we need to go to week 21. Week 21, he plays Kendall. That's why I said 95%. I didn't want to say you punch your ticket when there's like this much room for a slip up. Oh, so close. Um, I wrote much like Connor, highest and highs and lowest of lows this season. This guy couldn't catch a break, but then he'll come out with these monster weeks. Shout out a couple weeks ago when he had a record heading 272 points. Now 242. How are you? Gotta love those numbers. He is also the second highest scoring team in the league this year, with now eclipsing the 3,500 point marker. Stick taps. Punch ticket question mark. Your top three. You were led by Brady Tkachuk, 24.2 points. Nady MacDog McKiggs kind of like that, 22 points. And Georgiev, 20.8 points. I know Georgiev. Andre Georgiev, whatever. Those are his top three. His goalies went 4-3-1 for a total of 36.7 points. His offense led the way, though. Highest in the league this week, eclipsing the 200-point marker themselves with 205.8 points. Talk about it, kid. Woo! And 16 of his 22 total players had over 8 points. Getting it done. All 4 lines. Almost punching tickets. Let's get to our last team of the week. We call him Jacoby, but we got to remember that he's still the Q. And the Q is now on a 2-game losing streak. Back-to-back weeks of him and KenDog being the 2 lowest scoring teams in the week. You got to do something to change that name. Luckily, he still has a 2-game win, 2 games up on Ken, but with Kristoff and Connor getting that win, going to 9-9, even though it's only 1 game up from Jake, all of a sudden it's like the pressure is now on Jake to escape from that condo, the basement, the dwelling. Jake, you did it for me. You said to him, I know you're doing all this work. I got you on a big stat. Huge stat guy, Jake. 3 players. Hagel, Horvat, Hintz. They all played 3 games. Hagel, 3 games, 0.4 points. Horvat, 3 games, 1.2 points. Hintz, 3 games, 3.2 points. 9 games played for a total of 4.8 points. 3 of your 10 forwards get 4.8 points? As you said it, that was the major difference. Your goalies, 3-3, not great, but the writing was on the wall, especially going up against Kristoff this week. As you said, like, can I play anyone else? Your top 3 were Dylan Larkin, nice bright spot, 24.4 points. Linus Allmark, 15.5, and Mats Zuccarello, 14.4 points. Only 1 game back from 3rd. However, all eyes are on you. That's what I wrote. That's all I've got for week 18. Now, let's talk about week 19. Yes, it's already begun. Happy President's Day. Lost a little bit of luster, but still big stuff to be played for. Timmy Westside, 2 games back. I'm playing Lair. I go 2-0 to close out the season. Lair goes 0-2. Hopefully we don't go to 21 weeks. I have our head-to-head. I leapfrog him, and I would be number 1 seed. I gotta be perfect. Laird's gotta stumble. We'll see what happens. Bowling backhanders, you're taking on the comeback kid. Not a whole lot to play for, but however, scoreboard watching, all eyes will be on the Rubber Puckies taking on the Burt Macklin squad. Everything, I wrote this down, everything can be decided, locked in 100% this week. Good luck, folks.